It's one of the hottest days of the year so far. Absolutely roasting outside. So everybody's out, including all the birds, so you'll just have to excuse all the noise. But I've been quite a busybody, and the layout has changed again, as you can see. And you're thinking, what? What have you done? Well, let me go through it with you. Basically, the two outermost loops haven't really changed. They still go all the way around the room, as usual. But the inner loop now has a bridge, just there. You'll have to ignore the rather odd train that's climbing up it at the moment. That's because I was busy doing some testing, you see. But let's go over and have a look. Now, if you can remember, we did have multiple tracks going all along there, and then all the way around the top, and then all the way down there, and joining up again over there. But I've got rid of that. I've changed that because that was no good. The problem with DC is that you need a track or a siding per locomotive, whereas with DCC you can fit multiple locos in just one siding. With DC you can't. Not unless you use tons of isolating tracks and switches, and I'm not getting into all that because I'd rather spend that money on DCC chips, because that's much more realistic and much better. So what I've done is over here, basically the track comes off using an express point, so it's really nice and smooth, and then runs parallel with the loop 2, the one just in the middle here. Runs parallel with that, and then splits back on itself into loads of sidings here for individual locos. Yeah, I've also put this ramp thing here because that was something I had when I was little, and I absolutely love it. It's just nostalgia, that's all it is. I don't think it will exist in the proper layout, although I might find a way to put it in, and I might weather it up and make it more realistic and stuff. But it's just something I always used to love when I was little, you know, driving cars up and putting them onto wagons. So I've just put it in for nostalgia, really. But as you can see, Falcon's parked up there, along with loco number 1, my Class 58 from 1986. That is the most important and the most precious loco I have in the entire set. It really is. And then we've got Liz, Princess Elizabeth. So basically all the locos park up here, and then what they do is they leave those sidings and they go around the top and they go over to this side where they back up onto their coaches. So we've got the coach, we've got 5 Mark 1 coaches there for the Class 40, which is waiting to be detailed. There's the coaches for the Caledonian Sleeper. Then there's the coaches for the Royal Train. Then there's the coaches for Falcon, Heart of Midlothian. And then there's some Network South East coaches, which are heavily weathered. The reason I've got those, you'll see in a later video, which would be quite cool. But there's also a siding that comes off here and goes right round underneath the bridge and then splits into all that. So you've got the Caledonian Sleeper Loco, the Class 90, parked up there, some wagons, some Regional Railways coaches, some more wagons, and then Percy with his engineering train. And Percy actually accesses his loop, well, his siding, from the first set of sidings, which is why you end up with the odd shape that you do. But it's perfect because you've got huge areas, you see, to walk in. So I can walk over here and I can easily get out of the door by putting my foot there, and I can access these windows by standing in this place here. So it's just perfect. There's even sidings over here on the innermost loop for locomotives to be parked up, waiting to be ran. So you've got the Anglian with its coaches, and there's a Class 153 DMU, East Midlands, parked up. So that's it basically. I just couldn't leave it alone, could I? I had to go and change it, and not just change it a little bit, but change it entirely. Just look at that. You'll see basically trains running in it in videos coming up, but I really don't think there's much more I can do now. I've used up just about all the track I can. I've just got a box full of curves left, and so it's time to, well, it's time to start doing stuff with the proper layout. So there we go. Those are the changes that I've made. They are quite drastic, but this layout is pretty much maxed out now. There's not much more I can do. I'll obviously still be using it to do running in of locos on, and to do reviews, video reviews, and to just enjoy my trains, but apart from that, there's not much more to do. There's not much more I can do. So watch this space for videos on the new layout, the plans for it and stuff like that. So I suppose, even though it's an absolutely gorgeous day, and all I want to do is just go outside and catch some sun, I better get some loco reviews done.